Hey guys, welcome back to 𝑭𝒐𝒏𝒈. In today's video we are going to work with password cracking, SQL injection, remote code execution, FTP, PHP, among other things. Now, to do this we are going to solve together the vaccine box from 𝒖𝒔𝒊𝒄. So, without further ado, let's get to it. So, task 1. Besides SSH and HTTP, what other service is hosted on this box? Now, to know this, we need to perform an Nmap scan with the following switches: -S_C, -S_V, and our IP address. We passed it here and we wait for our output. Okay, so from our output, we can see that we have here our SSH and our HTTP service, okay? Now, we can see that we have FTP, so that's our answer to task 1. Now, what we can do is to grab our target's IP address and open a new tab in Firefox or Google Chrome, the one that you have, of course, and paste it here. And we are supposed to see a website because port 80 can be hosting a website, and in our case it is. Now we can try to connect via FTP because, as you can see, our host is running FTP service on port 21, and we can try to connect via FTP to see if we can find any credentials, okay? So we open a new tab and we insert the command FTP, and then we copy our target's IP address. Now let's see if our FTP can be anonymous. Okay, it can be anonymous, FTP login allowed. So the username that we will use here is anonymous, and we will try to use a blank password. So we just click enter. And let's see, as you can see, login successful. Now what we can do is list all the information that we have here. And as you can see, we have here a file called backup.zip. And now we can download this file with the command get and the name of the file. We copy this, we paste it here, we click enter, and let's see. Okay, now if you exit this, with exit I think, okay, and you list the contents of your current directory, you will have our zipped file, and here we have it, okay? We can try to unzip this file with the command unzip backup.zip. Let's see. Okay, it seems that this file is protected with a password. However, we can use a tool that will make cracking attempts so we can access the contents of this file. Before we move on, just let me tell you that the answer to task 2 is anonymous, so this service can be configured to allow login with any password for specific username. What is that username? And as you saw on our output from Nmap, we can see that the username is anonymous. So that's our answer. Task 3. What is the name of the file downloaded over this service? So the file downloaded over FTP was this one, okay? Backup.zip. So that's our answer. Task 4. What script comes with the John the Ripper toolset and generates a hash from a password-protected zip archive in a format to allow for cracking attempts? The tool is 𝒐𝒏𝒈. So that's our answer. Now, 𝒐𝒏𝒈 tool is part of the John the Ripper password cracking software. It is specifically used to generate a hash from a password-protected zip file, which can then be cracked by John the Ripper to reveal the password. Now, we use the following commands that will take our zip file and outputs the hash into another file, okay? So, 𝒐𝒏𝒈, then our file, backup.zip, then the sign greater than, and then the name of the file. You can call it what you want, of course. I will call it hash.txt. Now we click enter. Let's list the contents of our current directory, and here we have it, the hash, okay? Our hash is now saved on a file called hash.txt, so we can use the following command to crack the password using our file hash.txt. So the command is just John and then the name of our file, hash. Now we can use the following command to display the cracked password, and that command is John --show and then our file hash.txt. And here you have it, guys. Now with these passwords we can unzip the file. So unzip, then backup.zip. We insert these passwords here, so this, and we paste it here. And now if you do ls, you will have the zipped file, our hash, and the files that were inside of our zipped file. Now let's see the contents of our index.php file with cat. Let's see. Okay, as you can see, we have here the admin's password. So admin, it's the username, and the password is this here. This is a hash. This is a MD5 hash, okay? So what we can do is to search for a MD5 decryptor. So let's do it. MD5 decryptor. We can use this one. We copy our hashed value, okay? We paste it here, decrypt, and let's see. Okay, and here we have it, guys. We have the password of our admin. So we can copy this and we can open, like, for instance, Kate, and paste it on a new file just to not lose it, okay? So username, it's admin, password, it's _789. Now let's see the other file. I don't think we have here another password. Let's see what the style.css file has saved. So cat style. Okay, I don't think that we have here anything that is important, so no. By the way, the answer to task 5, so what is the password for the admin user on the website, is the one that we just cracked. So this one here, _789. Okay, now that we have a username and a password, we can try to log in here on our website. So our username is admin and our password _789. So let's see if we can log in. And we can, guys. Okay, we are in. Let's move on. Task 6. What option can be passed to SQL map to try to get command execution via the SQL injection? Well, the command is --os--shell. So this command here. Now, SQL map is a tool that automates the process of detecting and exploiting SQL injections vulnerabilities in web applications. And if you don't know what SQL injection is a code injection technique that exploits vulnerabilities in an application software by inserting malicious SQL statements into a database query. Now, these vulnerabilities occur when user inputs are not properly sanitized and are directly included in SQL queries. This can allow attackers to manipulate queries, potentially gaining unauthorized access to data or even controlling the database server. Now, when we use SQL map, we need to specify a URL parameter that might be vulnerable to SQL injection. Now, if you go back to the website, we can try to see what's the output when we insert something here, like, for instance, let's insert sports, just to see what's okay. Now, if you look here at the URL, you will see that you have a search parameter there. Okay, this is the parameter, the search parameter. Okay, the reason you need to include a search parameter in the URL is that SQL injection vulnerabilities typically occur in parameters that are passed to the server. Now, these parameters are then tested by 𝑺𝒐𝒏𝒈 for SQL injections vulnerability. Now we can use 𝑺𝒐𝒏𝒈, and to do that, we can use the command --u. This is to specify the URL. Then we open quotes, we copy our URL and we paste it here. We close our quotes and then we need to insert our cookie. Now let me just tell you that this is not the full command and we need to insert the cookie because we are testing a web application that requires login to search for card types in this particular case. Now after logging in, your browser sets a session cookie with the name and the value. Because the target URL requires authentication, 𝑺𝒐𝒏𝒈 needs the session cookie to access those pages. Without the cookie, 𝑺𝒐𝒏𝒈 might not be able to reach or test the areas of the application that are vulnerable to SQL injection, okay? Now, to access your cookie, you right-click, you go to Inspect, and if you are using Firefox, you go to Storage, and here you have the cookie. On the command, so on your terminal, you insert -- and then cookie, because we want to specify that we will insert a cookie. Then we open quotes, we copy the name, we paste it here, we insert the equal sign, and then we copy the value of the cookie, okay? And we paste it here. We close quotes, like so, and then we insert our rest of the command, so --os--shell. --os--shell. Click enter and see what's the output. You can click Y once again. Let's see. Okay, as you can see here on our output, we can see that the search parameter is vulnerable. So we can click Y. Now we can try to make a reverse shell with the following command. Now, before we click enter, we need to use a netcat listener to catch our connection. Let's do it and see -lvnp, and then the port that we will insert is this one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. We click enter, and now we can run our command here. Yes, let's see. Okay, I'm sorry, I need to change the _0 with the actual _0, so let me open another tab. And to do this, we can use ifconfig _0 and retrieve our _0. We use the same command, but this time, instead of _0, we use our actual _0. We click enter, yes, let's go to our netcat listener, and as you can see, we are in, guys, so we were able to connect. Now, task 7, what program can the Postgres user run as root using sudo? To know this, we need to know the password of the Postgres. Now, it's important to know that web applications often store configuration files in the var www HTML directory or its subdirectories. These files might contain database credentials, API keys, and other sensitive information. So I searched for the files in this directory, in the HTML directory, and when I displayed the contents of each file, I saw that the password of our user was in the file called dashboard.php, okay? And here we have it, guys. So the password of Postgres user is password. So let's paste it on our kite to save it. Username is Postgres and password is this one here. I will copy and paste it here, okay? So as you can see here on our Nmap scan, we have a port that is running the service SSH. So we can try to use SSH to connect as the Postgres user on our host, because the SSH service, as you can see, is running, so we can try to use it. Now, to do that, we can use the following command: SSH Postgres, because this is the username of our user, at our target's IP, click enter, yes, and then as password we will insert this one here, okay? Paste it here, let's see, and we are in, guys. Task 7. What program can the Postgres user run as root using sudo? We can use the command sudo -l. We can insert the password once again of our Postgres user. So as you can see, these are all the files that the Postgres user can run as root. Our user can use v to edit this file 𝑭𝒐𝒏𝒈.conf, okay? So the answer to task 7 is v, okay? This is a file that the user can edit, and this is the program that the user can run as sudo, okay? So that's our answer. Now let me just tell you that this file here is used for configuring client authentication in PostgreSQL, okay? Now we can submit our user's flag and let's see our current working directory. Okay, let's change to the root's home directory. We can search for a file like so, find -name, and let's suppose that our flag is saved in a file called user.txt. Let's see. Okay, here we have our user.txt file, so we can try to access this file and read the contents of it, okay? Here we have it, so we copy this, add user.txt, and here we have our user's flag, okay guys? Now what we can do is use the file that I just showed you before, so I will run the command sudo-l once again. So we can edit our file with the vtext editor, and we will insert a command that will spawn a new shell with the same privileges as the v process, giving us a root shell, okay? So we click enter. Now we go all the way down, and here we will insert the following command: exclamation mark, like so, space, /bin/sh. Now this command, executed within v, spawns a new shell with the same privileges as root, okay? Now we can click enter, and if you insert who am I, we are now root, guys. Okay, so we can just search for the root's flag, and let's list first the contents of our current directory. Okay, we have here our user's flag, but we just saw that, we don't need to see it anymore. But let's see our current directory. Okay, let's change to the root's home directory and search for our root's flag, okay? So name, and let's suppose that our root's flag is saved on a file called root.txt, so root.txt, enter. Okay, so we have our file root.txt inside of the directory called root. So cd root ls, and here we have our file, so root.txt, and here we have our flag, guys. And that's it. We have successfully rooted the vaccine box from ℓ box. And this walkthrough showed us the importance of two-row enumeration, how to exploit specific vulnerabilities, and ultimately how to gain root access. If you found this walkthrough helpful, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. See you next time, stay curious, keep hacking and stay ethical. Bye bye!